guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. While all smiles over here, I am Will Sanja. It's like asking a question. Will Sanja help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm gonna try not to keep it long, but y'all already know if it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. The golden nugget today is spiritual amnesia. Listen, when we're first born, we know anything. We know the plans for our lives. We know our journeys. We know exactly the purpose that we're supposed to be doing in this time, in this space that we're in. We know all of that, right? Why? Because we understand at that space, point in time, that we are what? Spiritual beings in human form here in this earth to have a great experience as far as to create, right? But what ends up happening? We have parents. Yes, we have people around us. Yes, that does what? What do? They influence us. And how do they influence us? They influence us on what they know. And what do they know? They know that they were influenced by their what? Parents and their surroundings. And how were they influenced? They were influenced by their parents' carnal mind and by their parents' human form. They were told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, how to say it, what to say it, how to go and when to come back, and how to do this and how to do that and this and that and the other. But they only taught them how to do that in what? Human form. Nobody ever said, hey, don't ever forget you're a spiritual being in human form, about to have a great ride of your life in creating. Nobody ever says that. I never got that. If you got it, put down in the comments that you got it and tell me all of the amazing things that you have done thus far, okay? With that being said, y'all, we don't get that when we're first placed in here in this earth. We get all of the carnal mind and all the human experience of our parents. And they tell us based on their guidelines being a human on how to be. And what do they transfer over to us? They transfer over to us with fear. They transfer over us to how to what? Just survive. They transfer over to us on what? How to limit ourselves. They transfer a whole lot of things, of negative things that we're not supposed to even associate with, right? Why? Because we are indeed spiritual beings. And when you are a spiritual being, you already know you can do any and everything that you request and what you want to do. Why? Because you can create, right? You can create. The thing is that when we have so much of that influence that is given to us, it pushes our spiritual being to the sideline, to where it's like dormant almost, to where it's not active. So we end up growing up thinking that we can't do this and we can't do this and we can't have that and we can't do this, and we sometimes are so confused. It's almost, you know how when somebody asks you a question, they say, what's this? And you go, oh, I know that. And then you're about to say it and it won't come to you. It's on the tip of your tongue, but it's not coming to you. That's how spiritual amnesia is. You know, right now, I've been there. I could talk about it because I've been there. And some of you guys probably have been there. And some of you guys probably are experiencing, like I said, right now. And with that being said, you are at a state right now going, I know what my purpose is. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. I can sense, I can feel it that I'm supposed to be doing something more than what I'm doing right here, but it's on the tip of my tongue. It just won't come to me. That's the spiritual amnesia. It's not coming to you because your spirit being has been lying dormant for too long, and you got to wake it up. And those little feelings that you know there's something more, that's your spiritual being trying to wake up. Trying to say, hey, wake me up and I'll show you what we came here to do. Wake me up and I'll show you what you're supposed to be doing right now. Wake me up and I'll show you that you're really supposed to be a millionaire. Wake me up and I'll show you that you're really supposed to be a doctor. Wake me up and I'll show you that you ain't going to have that illness. Wake me up and I'll show you. Wake me up and I'll show you. Wake me up. Wake me up and I will show you. Wake me up and all your memory will come back. Just wake me up. That's what your spiritual being is saying. And y'all, I experienced that. I know or knew who I was, human form, just like you know your mama and them, you know everybody. You know everything about your human life. Matter of fact, you've said to yourself, and I've said to myself at once upon a time, well, I'm only human. And you know, at once upon a time, I was saying, God is at the head of my life. And then I'm turning around going, well, I'm only human. Oil and water, they don't mix. They don't. Because why? We're not only human. We are designed and built to do many and great things. And guess what? Get this. God would not have designed a body to place our spiritual beings in if he didn't think that we can stay connected to him in it. Did you hear that right there? I don't know if I can repeat all of it again. So you're going to have to rewind that because I don't know if I'll be able to repeat that. But that part, did you hear that part? God would have never designed a body for us to be in if he didn't think that we couldn't stay connected to him in it. Oh, that's so good. So listen, you got to wake that spiritual being up because it is possible for you to operate, for your spirit being to operate this human form. What has happened, or what did happen was, I don't know if I said it right, but what happened is that we have allowed, I can say this from experience, we have allowed at some point in time to allow our human form to take control of the ship. Our human form told our spiritual being, I'm the captain now. And that human form is driving you everywhere but where you're supposed to be. Your spiritual being is saying, hey, we said when we got here on earth in this human form that we was going to become a multimillionaire. We said that when we got here on this earth in this human form that we were going to create a cure for so and so and so and so and so. That's what your spiritual being is saying. But because y'all, I'm blurring up, but I know you know what I look like. Yes, you do. But listen, that's what your spiritual being is saying. Hey, we're supposed to be doing a whole lot. We're supposed to be creating a whole lot. But whenever your physical human form is in control, it will have you stuck in fear. It will have you doubting who you are. And the reason why they have you doubting who you are, because guess what? You have spiritual amnesia. You don't know who you are as a spiritual being. That's why your human form can get you to doubt who you are. That's why those emotions, that's why I call them falsehood of emotion. Because if you knew who you were or knew who you are, if you know who you are as a spiritual being, none of that would matter. You'll be like, whatever, I know who I am. Like I said, we know who we are as a human. I know who I am as a human. I know my name is Sanja. I know I have a twin sister. I know I have an older brother. I know my mom and dad. I know my husband, you know what I mean? And my children. I could tell you everything about my human life. And I know you can tell me everything about your human life. But can you tell me anything about your spiritual being? If you can't, that means you have spiritual amnesia. Now, let me tell you how I was able to get over this spiritual amnesia. Now, let me tell you, it'll creep back up on you. It will. But let me tell you how to get rid of it. And then I'll tell you how to keep it going, okay? Now, listen. You have to first acknowledge that you are more than just a human. First and foremost. You have to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge that. You're more than just human, okay? And then once you do that, that hunger, that yearning that you have, you saying, God, I want to know more of you. I want to know more of you, because that's what I was saying. God, I want to know more of you. I want to know more of you. And really what I was saying, I want to know who I am as a spiritual person. And I didn't get, that's what I was saying. I was reaching outward trying to fill a void, and I was really trying to find me as a spiritual being. So like I said, once you realize that you're more than just human, begin to awaken your spiritual being, and then God will begin to be at the forefront of your life, because you're already asking him, hey, listen, I want to know, I want to wake up my spiritual being. I want to bring it back to activity. I want to get it out of its dormant state. I want to get it to where it's up and moving and up and running. I want my spiritual being driving me to my destinies, not my human form. And so when you get to that space, you're asking God to be at the forefront of your life, which I always tell y'all to stay where aligned and connected, and that's what that is. And once you're being aligned and connected, you're going to have some clarity about who you are as a spiritual being. And guess what? The more you awaken it, because you know how we wake up in this. When you get up in the morning, you're not just up. You wake up, you ain't up and just, up. Like, you wake up in stages. Your eyes still a little blurred, so you got to get the eyes clear, and then you got to get things together. And that's how our spiritual being is, especially when it's been lying dormant. Then you got to do what? You got to begin to exercise your spiritual being, which means you got to make sure it's a constant staying aligned and connected every single day, being aware, stay aligned and connected, because the more you're aligned and connected, the more your spiritual being is awake, right? It's going to stay awake. Now, when you choose to unplug and not be aligned and connected as you should be the majority of the time, then you'll slip back in to that dormant state, and then the human form will begin to take over and start driving you to destinations that you had no idea that you wanted to go. You be like, hey, wait a minute. This looks like Skid Row. We're supposed to be going down to Beverly Hills. What this Skid Row? Come on, you made a right, make a left, go. But you can't do that if you're not what? Aligned and connected. So listen, getting rid of spiritual amnesia just simply means what? Acknowledge that you're more than just human form. When you understand that thing, start to get to know who you are as a spiritual being, and that means that you're going to ask Source to be at the forefront of your life, moving in and through you. That way you'll be able to see with some clarity, and you'll be operating in your trueness. And your trueness, which is what? You as a spiritual being. And guess what? Your purpose will no longer be on the tip of your tongue. You'll actually be rocking it out in that purpose. You'll be what? Hey y'all, hey, I do this now. Yeah, I'm over here. Yeah. They're gonna be like, you do what? Yeah, I do that. I didn't either, but I found out I could. You get what I'm saying? You will find that you're gonna be creating a whole lot of things. It's just gonna be a whole new world in front of you, because you'll be able to find out that, hey, listen, I'm working in this purpose that I actually came here to do, and it's all because you finally found you, right? As a spiritual being. I hope y'all got the gist of it. I'm not going to keep y'all long. I'm almost at 12 minutes. I did tell y'all if you got good, I was going to keep on talking, but I truly hope y'all understood. Please note that you are more than just human. You are a spiritual being, which means you're aligned and connected with God. You and God are one, which means you are God, which means you can't be saying you're only human, which means you can't be saying and treating yourself like you're only human, because you can do amazing things, okay? Keep that in mind and stay encouraged, stay aligned and connected, so you can keep your spirit being awakened, okay? And you will be able to do great things. All right, I'm gonna go on that note. If you didn't get it, rewind it, watch it again. If you didn't get it again, rewind and watch it again. If you didn't get it then, rewind and watch it again. If you didn't get it again, get it again, then pray about that thing, okay? All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. If you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and place it in your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mask a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.